Alright. Let's start. So he thought she was a semester class. We have this funny elements of the story. Humor is there, but and you shouldn't disturb as a normally trend we follow, but we do not see the outcome of this trend. And when you're talking about supernatural, you cannot keep on disturbing, or at somebody's beck and call. So you shouldn't be always.
Was he aware that he was calling the ghost?
No. But why she came to tell him is because they're going on strike. Why is the reason? Because they are people who are troubling them. Like who likes to be at a beck and call. And when I got back to the office for my last case and was ready for you, then to switch off to something else and sit there quickly. So I couldn't attract her attention until just now. So she was saying, he was trying to figure out when did I call her and all that. And she said, this is what the thought process was. And really, so he said that he didn't actually want to call, but his thought process unintentionally. Very immediately, because I just came to tell you to stop bothering us for assistance. We are not going to we are going on strike. So the ghost is going on strike. What? You don't have to yell at me. It was this ghost going on strike. You never hear that kind of thing. Like it's a funny story. You have to enjoy the elements and you don't expect a ghost to go on strike and then she's going on strike. You don't have to yell at me. I didn't mean to yell, I said something. But I'm not afraid. So it's a typical kind of henpecked husband. He very submissive. Yeah. So with women also he's not trying to that's why he's very humble. And yes. What time the class is supposed to start and what time do we arrive?
8:13.
5:30.
5:30? 5:30? 5:20?
No, 30.
5:20 to 6:20. Please sit. And how was your exams?
It was easy.
And why did you turn up now? It was easy now. Oh, okay. You're doing the shady plot. You must have done it in school. Shady plot. Oh, lovely. I'm already halfway through the story.
But I have done this chapter.
You have done
it is about speech abuse.
Yes. And the message behind it. Sit down.
I don't know.
I didn't know. That's why you never know. Sit down. Okay, so he says, I didn't mean to yell at the company, but I'm afraid I didn't quite understand it. You were. She's being very dominating, he's being very submissive. You find that also, but Helen also is like this. She's I didn't mean she's very disrespectful, but she is entitled to, because she's been forced to go on strike, right? Because people are taking undue advantage of them. So, going on strike, don't you know what a strike is? Not another plot you get from us. Plot of your story. Yes. So what is the story all about? This writer is writing a ghost story and the ghost suddenly appears out of the blue. And then she says, I'm going on a strike. Now, these ghosts going on a strike is very obvious. Why are they going on a strike? So he says, and he didn't expect to come because he thought he was writing on his own. But the plot and the story was provided by her. Her is Helen. Okay, that's the gist of the story. So going on strike, don't you know what a strike is? Another plot. Not another plot, no story from us. No giving you a story from us. I stared at her, wet my lip. So he's offended her, right? So he's very scared and that's why he wetted his lips. Is that where they have been coming from? So is that suddenly he realized this plot, what he's talking about the story, it's coming from somewhere, from the ghost. So of course, where she's very offended. What else? From where did you get the story, the idea? You're a ghost writer, right? You from where did you got the idea? But when ghosts aren't a bit like you, so he says her appearance is totally different from his ghost story. He says my ghosts are not like you. If they were, people wouldn't believe in them, she says. It has to be the opposite, right? She draped herself on the top of my desk among her friends and ink bottles and leaned towards. She's like this translucent present. You know what is translucent, right? See-through. So she's sitting on that, the way how do you drape a sari is like that, very elegantly she's draping herself, but all the inks and everything is protruding. You can see it through her body. Like how the ghost is there. Have you seen Casper? Seriously, Casper the ghost you will have never seen.
I have seen this
I'm missing her so much in life. See, in other life, I used to write. So she's now telling like why she became like she's helping the writer because she also was a writer. And the reason, this is the reason. You get a 4-mark question on it. You did, she nodded. But that one has nothing to do with the present form. It might have been, but I gave it up for at last that for that very reason I'm going to work as a reader on a fancy. She sighed. And she was not a very successful writer. And she gave it up and she became a reader on the magazine. At the end of her long evening notes with a reminiscent finger. Reminiscent finger is when you're remembering, you're nostalgic, you are memory, trying to recall memory. Those were terrible days. The memory of them made me mistake purgatory for paradise. So, what is purgatory? Is where, like, hell. Purgatory is like the hell, where the burning fire is there. And paradise, so like, whenever you are, yeah, whenever you're not happy with certain things, it's like a purgatory for you. And when you're very happy about certain things, it's a paradise for you. Remember in life also when you're talking about when you choose your career. If you don't enjoy your career, it is going to be a purgatory for you. But if you enjoy your career, it is going to be paradise. If you go in sports and you become a footballer or cricketer, depending on what you also. What is your
and having an interest and becoming an army officer.
army officer? You're made for the army also. You have that physique. Good. Very good. And I like your career choice. But you're going to go for army, navy, army.
This energy command. First, I will do parasol and then energy. Because for energy, we need to have some post like parasol, or we need to be a part of.
Good, you're very sorted.
Exactly.
At least you know.
Too much sorted.
No, but good. That kind of focus should be there. Otherwise, his studies will this fun. If he's focused, he has to get a certain percentage to get into that. That is called
First, I need to get PCM, and in English, I need 50% of marks. More than 50% of marks. And in physics and maths, I need more than 70%.
Yes. And you have to clear an entrance exam.
Yes, I would not. In 11th, I need to give an NDA exam.
NDA exam, that is very difficult, sweetheart.
And out of 5 to 6 lakhs, only 300 or 400 marks left.
Correct. I have a living example in my house who failed in multiple times. We get only 3 attempts. But only the logical reasoning questions are there that is based on English. There are many questions.
You should sit on the first page.
No, logical reasoning and grammar. Your grammar and your this one stuff. Anyway, coming to this back. So she says, at last when I attained my present state of being, that means my present state of being has been the ghost, I made up my mind that something should be done. So I said, people like me shouldn't suffer again. So I have made up my mind. That's why they formed a bureau. I found others who suffer similarly, and between us we organized the Writers Inspiration Bureau. That's the reason why we have organized, because they have suffered in life. Now they wanted to make sure that others do. We scout around. Scout is
Search around.
bureau is an office. We have search around, scout around until we find a writer whose ideas, without ideas and with a mind soft enough to accept it. So this also talks about the protagonist. Who's the protagonist?
Right.
Yeah, who's the writer? Name.
Who likes the story?
In this, who's the writer?
Hello.
Oh, good. I know.
Yes. What is the name?
I know.
Yes. So he is saying like what is it? A writer without ideas. So he doesn't have any ideas of writing story and a mind soft enough to accept impression. That means perceptive to other beings. So
All in the draft and
No,
write that in.
no. As in deceptive. Soft impression is deceptive. Like for example, yes, open to new ideas, open to new experiences. One thing we all are not exactly receptive. There is a big, debate whether there is a supernatural or ghost hallucination. We talk about that, right? Some people
Are open to listening to those and experiencing.
experiencing. Some people aren't. right? Some people who will have that outwardly experience where they said, I saw this ghost and suddenly it disappeared and all that, and some people aren't that receptive. So that's what she's saying, that we have to have a mind soft enough to accept, that be very receptive to accept the presence. Understood? The case is brought to the attention of the main office and one of us is assigned to it. So when we find this kind of person, we have to locate this kind of person who doesn't have any ideas, original ideas, and then we have to do this one, who's then receptive to accept us. So then, in this case, we go to the main office. Bureau is like, there are different departments in it. Office, how a business office structure works. You have your president, your vice president, you have your HR, you have your main employees, right? Those kind of, that is a bureau. So you have that, different offices are there. So he said, then it is brought to the main office and then one of us is assigned to it. So she was assigned to this writer. Okay. When the case is finished, we bring in a report. So when it's a proper working office, so when that case is over, you have to prepare a case file. Right? This is what has happened and how will it help. But I never saw you before. And you wouldn't have this time if I hadn't come to announce this time. So then yes, you wouldn't have this time also because like again started writing we wanted to write a post story, right? I wouldn't have come here, but I came because we were going on a strike. Many a time I leaned on your shoulder when you thought you were thinking hard. So leaning on the shoulder, you know what is leaning, right? Bending on the shoulder. So she's like whatever her thought process, she's transmitting it to him. So then you were thinking hard. I groaned and crushed my head. The very idea of that scarecrow so much is touching me. Her appearance very sharp, very pointed, and very sharp features. And he felt like a creepy quality. Imagine somebody like that touching your shoulder, or touching any part, you feel that chills going on with your body, right? Good. But wouldn't my wife be shocked? I shivered. So his wife is very volatile. Okay, she's every little thing she goes in hysterics. Right? So she said, yeah. She said, what about my wife? If she had seen her, like she would have literally gone on fire, right? This way. But she continued. That's and we have been called out of our beds a little too often in recent years, and now we are through. So she says we are fed up. We are through this. We are absolutely fed up because every time we are being called out of our beds, we are not getting the test. We are at the beck and call of people. Okay. But my dear madam, I assure you, I have had nothing to do with that. I hope I'm properly grateful in all that you see. So then I have not done it. As I said, very submissive, very very respectful, very scared kind of thing. I have not done that much. It was not my intention to do that. But and I hope I seem like I'm very grateful to you. So I said, oh, it isn't you, she explained, patronizing me. She's really very patronizing. Oh, excuse me, you are not, as if you're not so valuable to me. Why do you think that you can affect me that way? That's patronizing, you know that.
just so now.
You know what is patronizing, right?
I know what's a big fear of, but I don't.
Patronizing is totally different. Patronizing,
It's accepted it.
yeah, I think it is accepted. Okay. You also. Patronizing is when you be very condescending because you don't know, it's okay, I'll help you out. Understood. So you're being I'll be very patronizing to you.
Oh,
Okay. That attitude is called patronizing.
keeping yourself up a little.
Yes. And the other one, you are not no value. What do you think? You think so big of yourself? That's what he said, nah? Oh, it isn't you, You are hardly an insect in front of me, like that kind of attitude. Okay. Those?
Reach out. Reach out.
Uija.
Reach out.
It's a French word.
VIG or something.
Yeah. Uija. Fanatics. Fanatics, very crazy people, as in who's very addicted towards it. That is called. You may be a football fanatic or you may be a cricket fanatic. You go overboard for everything, whichever town of the world that cricket matches, you'll be there at that particular stadium to watch them. Or when your favorite cricketer comes, you're going bonkers over that. So that is fanatic. Crazy people. There was a time when we had nothing much to occupy us and used to ponder a little on the side, purely for amusement, but not anymore. So let's say we had time in our hand, so we decided to ponder a particular house, or like that, it was very casual. But now it's not the same. We had to give up haunting almost entirely. So because of these people, this inconsiderate people, we have to now give up haunting. As a ghost, you're supposed to haunt, but you have to give up that occupation because people are very inconsiderate. We sit at a desk and answer questions now, and such questions. So, remember which about it how you have to you call a ghost and then that the sun moves, the marker moves. It's alphabetically wise. See, alphabetically wise. So yes, no, this one. So they will answer, are you here? This particular ghost. So they will answer why yes, yes. Then they will say
Most is asking.
no, the people answer. And the markers move. See this marker, can you see the heart shape one? This heart shape one in the corner. And it's merged into that. It's this. That is the kind of a carom. You have made carom, right? That what is that called? Points, no, the striker. The striker, like a striker, how you strike, right? So this one moves. It goes on alphabet. So when it is saying, is Henry present here? So they said either go to yes or no. Then they will ask the question and then they have to write the words. They spell out the word. That is Ouija board. Understood? So he said we have to answer such questions, such irritating questions, such rubbish questions. She shook her head hopelessly and take off a glass, wiped them, and put them back on her nose. So whenever this kind of action is also there, it's hopeless. Like that stupid question and tired, we so fed up of this. You do that. But what have I got to do with this? So he said, okay, you are going on strike, but I have not used a Ouija board first. So what do I have to do with this? She gave me a pitying look and goes. So she said, yeah, you don't know anything. Pitying look is that you don't know anything. I'm so sorry for you. You have to exert your influence, use your influence and get all your friends and acquaintances to stop using the Ouija board and then we start helping you to write. So in exchange of you stopping your friends and acquaintances to, who are acquaintance, right? People you hardly know, you just met those people, but you don't know them. Yeah, you know them by face, you know them by name, but that's it. Those are your acquaintances. Friends, so you definitely know who you are, friends. So he said, but there was a footstep outside. John, oh John, called the voice of my wife. I raised my arm by the bush with something from a bush or a beginner learning to swim. So like as if we say, go, beginner, like how a beginner does, they keep on splashing around. So for her to move out, because why? Because her wife will go to, she will burst into hysterics. Yes, that's why. Madam, I must ask you at once, consider the impression if you were seen here. So remember, here he used a metaphor, right? Here he used a metaphor and he compared himself to swimmer as like yearning to beginning as a beginner. So he said, as if he said, I want to leave you at once because if my wife sees you and he's a henpecked husband, you know what a henpecked husband is? Yes, you have to listen to everything his wife tells. That is a henpecked husband. Hope you are not getting good with attached. The ghost nodded and began very sensibly.
The same husband is in the chapter that big chapter.
Big chapter.
This one.
Oh, yes, sir.
This Mrs. Slater and that Mrs. Slater chapter.
Dear departed.
Yeah, dear departed.
We did it.
We did it, dear departed. You were not there.
You did it?
Even I wasn't there too.
I finished with the
Yeah.
Alia. So you all were not there. Dear departed, we had fun doing that. So,
Now, do you want to know our exam syllabus for a half year?
yes.
Two gentlemen of Verona, Mrs. Appetite Striker, a shady plot, the frog and the nightingale, not marble, not the gilded mountains, Ozymandias, and the deer departed.
So only Ozi is left.
No.
The letter.
The letter is also there. When is your next resolution?
In the last week of August or in the first week of September.
Yeah. By the time next class we try to publish.
We have it from September 18th.
You still have time.
2 minutes.
No, but next time what happens? CBSE will be cancelled. CBSE next 2 weeks will be not.
Again, no class for 2 weeks.
Not y'all, not the community one. They have the exams, so they will not be there. So y'all.
No, we are having exam for the first to 7.
That's what I'm saying. They classes. I'll ask them for just y'all for 2 hours, because then I'm finished with the letter and this one, or see this one. So then it will be again 1. Then it will be 1 hour. So that's what I said. How much course we can complete, you might as well complete that. Because I want to do the other one, the unseen passages one, what the other book is there, the medicines and all that. We just go through it and solve some of the things. Yeah. So we go through the MCB also, because I've not touched MCB up till now. Because from there the passages are going to come. Now let's go through that.
Creative part and everything.
We will have 6 mark question from that book.
That's what I'm saying. We go through that. Okay. Once we finish with this, move your course for the semester, and we move ahead with that. Alright, so where I was, I must ask you, keep as well considering friendship, senior goes for and very sensibly, I thought to demobilize and evaporate. First, the brogans. Brogans are your that ankle length work boot. Golden days next to wear the ankle length. Ankle is what wears your ankle length boot, what they used to wear. On a deep blue whiskey until I could see the flow through them. So like again, when how she appeared in parts. So she disappeared in parts. Okay. Then the affection spread to her knees. Affection, like
State of being affected.
yeah, yes, slowly she started disappearing from her ankle upwards. Understood? It went to her knees, then gradually upwards. By the time by this time my wife opened the door, was opening the door. Don't forget the stripes repeated. While her lower jaw began to disintegrate. Like how these pixels are there, remember? It disintegrates like that, so like that. And as my Lavinia crossed the room, to me, the last vestige of a year faded into space. The last part would disappear was the years. So, it faded. John, why in the world are you sitting in the dark? Just thinking, my dear, thinking rubbish, or talking out aloud. So, just thinking, yes. I remained silent while she lit the lamp, thankfully that her back was turned to me. When I'm nervous or excited, there is a muscle in my face that starts to twitch. You know, everybody has this kind of nervous habit. Sometimes it is there, you are unknowingly wringing your hands or rubbing yours, touching your hair.
On its own, right?
Yeah,
It's
you start fidgeting. Okay, so this muscle in it starts twitching. So like that. And this pulls up the corner of my mouth and gives an appearance of an idiotic grin. Your mother can catch. Your mother will be able to know what makes you feel. She knows when you are telling a lie. Yes, 100%.
This is why I don't lie.
So far, I had managed to conceive this affliction from Lavinia.
Actually, really like she never got.
No.
That means you lie.
Yes.
Everybody lies. That everybody lies. But your mother
Instead of
definitely,
my
when you were
mother.
younger, definitely she would be able to, because she would be able to tell. See, as a mother, they know when the child is hungry, when the child is having a stomach ache, when the child is lying. They know. They will not tell you outrightly, but they know. Okay. So he has hid from his wife this affliction because he doesn't want her to know, because already he's envied. He doesn't want her to know. You know, I got the loveliest thing this afternoon. Everybody wild over there. So she's a very shopaholic person. So she goes and picks up everything. I remember the place for taking up new pads and premonitorily still stepped down. Premonitorily is promotion. It's a promotion. That means a forbidden. Okay. An instinct which tells you what has happened is now.
Oh, is reality.
It's reality. That's a promotion. Okay. No, it isn't. I began and stopped. I simply couldn't have. The possibility was too horrible. Already, yeah. You will never guess in the world. It is the duckiest, darlingest Ouija board and so cheap. I got it in bargain sale. Why? What's the matter, John? And the promotion came, okay, she brought that Ouija board and then. So he says, I felt things slipping out of his hands. He felt like some, like catastrophe happening. Alright? Nothing. I said, looked around for the ghost. So he thought that his wife brought it on, suddenly she'll appear also. So he's scared. Suppose she had lingered. Lingered is lingered,
I don't know.
lurking around.
Suddenly I hear so.
Yes,
Or
suddenly.
linger.
Linger or linger.
I guess it linger.
Distance. Okay, upon hearing that a voice, a wife had said suddenly appeared, like all sensitive women, Lavinia was subject to hysterics. So she was like suddenly this ghost would appear definitely she would be very hysterical, right? But you look so funny. I always do when I'm interested, I tell. But don't you think that was a foolish thing to write? Foolish. Oh, John, foolish. And after me getting it for you, I wanted a gift and you call it foolish. She's becoming again an hysterical person. Like, for me, what do you mean? And sometimes you wanted for me, what do you mean by that? To
You
help you.
scared that the ghost is going to kill him.
Yes. If the ghost will appear and then his wife will go hysterical and with two hysterical women in the room, he's finished. He's dead. To help you write stories. See, I did it a favor because I thought my intention was to bring them to help you write. You're a ghost writer, so you can contact ghosts and you can write the stories. That was my intention. So she loves her husband, but she's dominating. So she loves her husband. For instance, suppose you wanted to write a historical novel, you wouldn't have to wear your eyes out over the musty old books in the public library. So very concentrated, okay. So you wouldn't have to go to the library and do the research. Authors do that. They have to go to finding about historical novels. They do have to do a little research in history to find out actually what has happened, and then they will place the story. Okay. All you have to do would be to get on get out your Ouija board and talk to Napoleon or William the Conqueror or Helen of Troy. So you can contact their ghosts and you can basically know about the history. So you don't have to go to the musty old library like that. Well, maybe not Helen, because Helen, she has a problem with Helen of Troy. Helen of Troy was supposed to be very, very beautiful and then she will be jealous. So that way it's anyhow, you have all the local colors you need. So all the local colors, basically everything what you need in this one. And without a speck of trouble. So you wouldn't want to get out from your house, you would just at the drop of the hat you could get these people. And think how easy writing your short stories will be now. But Lavinia, you surely don't believe in Ouija boards? I don't know. They are awfully thrilling. It's a very thrilling experience. You can get all at your resort. She had seated herself on the arm of my chair and was looking dreamily across the room. So she's like fantasizing, she's romancing, that the ghost will appear and then he will give all the answers and all that. She's fantasizing. I started to turn around and there was nothing there. I stand back and relief, and so far so good. So like he's literally on tenterhooks, like literally he's panicking, like suddenly he's hoping that ghost doesn't appear. So when the wife settles on the armchair and hears just a noise, he's startled with this. There's nothing that I stand back and relief, and so far so good. Oh, certainly they're thrilling, all right. That's just it. They are dark side too thrilling. So this is very thrilling. Because his life is, he started panicking. What if this ghost appears again? Because she told him not to use the Ouija board and tell your friends not to use them. They are positively devilish. So he's calling it actually devilish. Now, Lavinia, you have plenty of sense, and I want you to get rid of that thing just as soon as you can. Take it back and get something else. So just he's trying to dissuade her from using the Ouija board because Helen wanted him to do it. So he's telling her, don't use it. Why don't we use something? They're very devilish. You do not know what the outcome is going to be. Just return it back. But she can't. Why can't she return it back? My wife crossed the needle, stared at me with two narrow lips. So now she's very irritated. Now she's getting agitated. She's getting angry. Narrow lips is when you get upset and angry. John, hello, she said distinctly. I don't propose to do anything of that type. In the first place, they won't exchange things bought at a bargain sale. And the second, if you are interested in the other one, I am. So there. So she's since first reason is I bought it on a bargain, and anything if you buy in bargain, you can't return it, you cannot exchange it. And second thing, if you are not interested, I am. So that is the final thing. That's there. So there at least, that's final. Yes, it is going to be down. She slipped down, walked from the room. If I could think of a single thing to say, she walked very happily. Happily is very angrily she walked. She walked out in a huff. Well, it was like that all the rest of the evening. So she was very irritated and angry. First of all, she bought a gift for him. And second of all, her gift is rejected. So she's very, very upset and angry with him. Just as soon as I mentioned Ulta board, I felt things began to cloud up. Cloud up means began to become tense and angry. So I decided to let it go for the present in the hope that she might be more reasonable later. So she's in angry mood, she's very upset. So he says, as soon as I mentioned she would get more upset, so might as well I'll do it later. So he was that way he knew his wife very well. So he says, let me broach this subject later. After supper, I had another try at the writing, but as my mind continued to be a perfect blank, I gave it up and went off to bed. So he couldn't think of a plot, he couldn't think of anything original. So he left it. The next day was Saturday, and it being near the end of the month, a particularly busy day. I left home early without seeing Lavanya. Saturday was very busy for him. Why? We have forgotten for 2 weeks. It's normally he goes for a job. So
He's a book. He manages a book.
Yeah, so that way. Why? He's a bookkeeper, accountant, who manages
People
the
come
books.
to the books for the trade of the month.
Yes. I haven't quite reached the point where I can take my whole time to writing and being a bookkeeper for the lumber company. This is not a librarian. Bookkeeper is an accountant. Your CA.
Oh.
Look, bookkeeper, accountant. Yeah, he's not a librarian. I will get another context altogether. Being a CA, accountant, okay? Being a bookkeeper for a lumber company. Lumber. No. It's in olden days, it's an accountant. Not all the CAs are qualified by them. You know, your CA exam is also very difficult to crack. Lumber, I was coming to lumber. I'm listening to your voice, my voice is echoing because of sitting there.
He needs to sit here.
Yeah, he needs to sit here only. What is lumber? Arey wood.
So I played a game named Lumberjacks. I was thinking like that.
The lumberjack only. They are known as the lumberjacks. People who chop wood are known as lumberjacks. So lumber is wood. Okay.
You were right.
Lumber company does have the grocery bill and pay for Lavanya's fancy shopping. So his source of income is being a bookkeeper rather than being a novelist, okay, a writer, because that he doesn't get very often writing. So he does. Friday has been a half day, and of course, when I got back, the work was piled up pretty high. So the bills keep on coming. You know, business doesn't stop. The bills keep on coming, and Friday had been a half day, so the amount of it kept on accumulating. So high that the ghost of the storage library has vanished in a perfect tangle of figures. Tangle of figures when you're talking about when it's trying to balance the books. Okay, the tangle, you know, it's like when everything is getting mixed up. So everything flew out of his mind except for the figures which were there, which were not adding up. Okay. When I got off the streetcar that evening, my mind was still churning. Churning is still confused, still rattled, still mixed up. I remember now that I noticed even from the corner how brightly the house was illuminated. Bright, very bright, illuminated, you know, it's bright, full of light. But at the time I didn't see anything. So he's like, you know, his thought is he kept on thinking about all the things he had to do and all that. And he noticed that the house was very bright, but it didn't click to him that why, what was the reason it became bright. Yeah, but at the time I didn't see anything. I recall as I went up the stairs and opened the door and no more. 9 times 9 is 81. So he's trying to balance after the year. He's trying to balance that particular book. So he's counting where is it? So he's trying to balance and he's multiplying things in his head. So he's doing that. And then Gladolia went in the hall. Gladolia is the housekeeper.
Slangy.
Sorry?
She's a slangy.
Yeah.
Slangy. Cute slangy.
She used the sand. Mr.
And she
Hello, the Mrs. Sure thinks you lost. So you're basically the Mrs. thinks that you are lost. Okay. She said she done called you this morning to be home early. She said she had called up like to you this morning to be to return early. But for the Lord's sake, not to stop to argue fight now, but get ready for the company and come on down. So he said for the Lord's sake, for God's sake. Okay, Lord's sake is meant for God's sake. Stop arguing. Do not stop for arguing. Get ready for the company and come down. Okay, that's what her language is. She is very,
slangy. She was the first slangy.
she is the, like when you talk about people who are not very well educated and don't talk properly, that old kind of. Some memory of a message given to me by one of the clerks filtered back to my brain, but I had been hunting 3 lost receipts at the time and had completely forgotten it. So he was into that accounting this one. Remember, he was trying to balance out the amount and he had lost 3 receipts. An accountant's job is like you have to take the receipts and you have to like credit and debit. Remember how much is debited, how much is credited. In that particular time, the message came through, but he forgot about it because he was looking for those receipts. Okay, company, I said stupidly. What company? So he's being very stupidly. Why? Because he doesn't register what has been told to him. So that's why he calls himself like stupid. The Mrs. Ucha board party said Gladonia and rolling her eyes, she disappeared in the direction of the kitchen. So like she is rolling her eyes and basically she's saying, oh what an idiot, he's not registering that there was a party and like big people and their fancy parties like that. So that's what you roll your eyes. Like as if you get could care less about that. I must have gone upstairs, dressed and come down again, for I presently found myself standing in the dimly lit lower hall wearing my second best suit and a fresh shirt and collar, but I have no recollection of the first. So again, there's a lot of thoughts going on in his mind, so he's doing it instinctively. Like he's going, he knows where his house is, let's say. He's not registering actually what he was doing. It happens, with you all also it happens. Like morning is such a routine for you, right? Morning, like you get up out of bed, you take out a uniform, this one without thinking. Your brain is working somewhere else, you're thinking of something else, but automatically you're dressing up yourself. Right? So you're not registering what is happening, but you are dressed. Suddenly you realize, oh, I have a piece of bread in my mouth. Where did I come for breakfast? Because you're thinking you're preoccupied. He is preoccupied at that particular time, but he is normal action going on. There was a great chattering coming from a little parlor and went over to the half-open door and peering through. Parlor is what? In olden days,
Dressing table.
This is not a beauty parlor.
The ice cream parlor.
It is not an ice cream parlor. Also, in olden days, there is a hall, where they sit and they basically play their games and look like that. That is known as a parlor. In the house, there is no ice cream club.
Clever where we play games.
Agreed, but this is your house. This is his house. In olden days, there was a separate room where they used to play games that was known as the parlor. Ice cream parlor, beauty parlor, all the parlors in life. Seriously. Okay. The room was full of boys, most of them elderly, whom I recognized as belonging to my wife's book club. So they had this book club. So they in old days. Now also it happens. You have book clubs. You go visit one. You have this kitty, right? You have a kitty party. What you have? Kitty party you must have heard. So what
go there and you discuss about the book.
Correct. Either you meet in the hotel or you meet in somebody's house. Like that, book clubs were there. So book clubs is either in the one particular library or you meet in somebody's house.
Discuss the book.
Yeah. You discuss the book which you have read. They were sitting in couples. Couples is pair. Couples is pair, not couples. Like husband and wife or couple. Pairs. Okay, and between each couple was a Ouija board. The mournful squeak of the legs, personified, like more could speak of the legs of the moving triangular thing on which they rested their fingers, filled the air, and mixed in with the conversation. So I told you, remember the triangular thing? It had the pointer, so it would like, your hand would be there and automatically it would move. So that's why it was mournful, like added to the eerie atmosphere of like ghostly presence, like that. And it is mixed with the conversation because you're asking a question and that is moving. So that. I looked around for the ghost with my heart sunk down to zero. Literally, he was like he thought he like elementary around, and like, he was literally petrified, very frightened. What if Lavinia would see her and go mad before my eyes? So he said, what if my wife sees her and she will go crazy, right? And then my wife came and tapped me on the shoulder. John, she said in her sweetest voice, and I noted that her cheek was very pink and her eyes were very bright, and it was not a good sign. My wife is never so pretty as when she's doing something she knows I disapprove of. So she would act very sweet because she knows that he doesn't like it. John dear, I know you'll help us out. Mrs. William Augustus Wainwright phoned up at the last moment to say that she couldn't possibly come, and that leaves poor Laura Hinkley without a partner. So she wants him to do something which she knows and never do. So now, John, I know some people can work on Ouija by themselves, but Laura can't, and she does have a horrible time unless you. Me, I gasped. Me, I won't. And even as I spoke, she had taken my arm, and the next thing I knew, I was sitting with a thing on my knee, and Mrs. Laura Hinkley opposite, grinning in my face like a flirtatious crocodile. Why flirtatious crocodile? Because she is the predator and he is the prey. Understood? That's why like a simile is used here. Like she is who's the predator?
Hello.
Laura Hinkley. And he is the prey. Okay, that's in a flirtatious crocodile. I mean, he's stammering, he's saying, I don't want to do it, but still his wife is, as the henpegging, we are bullying him. Okay. So, now, Mr. Hallam, don't be shy. She said, don't be, Laura said, don't be shy. She leaned forward and shook a bony finger almost under my chin, as to lift his chin. Don't be shy, my boy. And not only I say, I won't. No, it's very easy really. You just put the tips of your finger right here beside the tips of my finger. So like this. And the first thing I knew, she had taken my hands and was coyly holding them in the position desired. In a very flirtatious way. Okay. She released them presently and the little boat began to slide around in an aimless sort of thing. Aimless because we are like it goes to letters. You have to read the letters in sequence. If it goes to A first, you have to read A. Then if it goes to P, you have to read P. Then P. Then L. Then E. Like that. Apple. It will spell out as apple. Apple because apple. Tell her. You tell her. I use that to teach. A, P, P, L, E. It will go to P again, then it will go to L, then we have to read the spellings like that. So it was aimless like that. There seemed to be some sort of force tugging it about. As if somebody is leading your finger, like in a force. I looked at my partner first with suspicion because he didn't believe in Ouija board, and then he said first he looked at very suspicious, like, is she doing it? And then was a vast relief. If she was doing it, then all of us parents, oh, I didn't know Miss Laura Hinkley was cheating with the board. So he was, like she's doing it, then he was agreeing. Okay, it's like, because if she's doing it, then there's no ghost around, that could be the ghost around. Ouija dear, won't you tell us something she could? Like, very girlish, cool.
Trying to be a picnic.
Yes. And in an instant, the thing seemed to take life. It rushed the upper left-hand corner of the door, hovered with its front leg on the word yes. So like, that it first went to yes, yes or no, are you present, are you not present, like that. Yes, then it began to fly around so fast I gave up any attempt to follow it. So it literally started moving fast. And then my companion was bending forward and started to spell it loud. Traitor, traitor. Why? What does he mean? I don't know, I said desperately, my collar felt very tight, you felt like choking, like him.
Someone is.
No, his fear was choking him. It was not somebody choking him. Fear was choking him. He's a traitor. Suddenly. But she must be something. Uija, dear, would you explain yourself properly? Ask him. Ask him. Ask who Uija. So when she's curious, go out to ask. What? I'm going like choke and try to get up. My fingers seem to be stuck to the dreadful board and I dropped back again. So like as if magnet is keeping him like his fingers there. He tried to get up, he couldn't the board couldn't release it. And apparently Mrs. Hinkle, Miss Hinkle had not heard my protest. The thing was going now faster than ever and she was really went silently with her brow corrugated. Corrugated is like that confused and trying to understand, yes. Corrugated cheese is like those two lines appear when you frown. That is corrugated. That is corrugated. Corrugated is that those two lines which appear. Right. And that is also used as a corrugated sheets. You remember the sheets which are there in the rails that has that hub kind of a thing? On the sheds, they use that corrugated sheets, those sheets.
The blue sheds used to
shops. Corrugated. That is also called corrugated sheets. Alright? And the light of a huntress in the pale blue eye. So she's like this huntress. Who's the traitor? What do you know?
She wants to create drama.
Yes, she wants to create drama because she wants to know who the traitor is and why he's called a traitor. Why? She says to you, Mr. Hallow. What does she mean? Uija, won't you tell us who is this talking? So she's curious, okay, who's talking? And why is she calling this person a traitor and why? The old lady's curiosity. I want to know the drama like that. Yeah. I groaned and in exorbitant board continued to spell. That exorbitant is unstoppable. Continued spell. I always did hate spelling a spelling match. She said I hated a spelling match and this person, this one. This Hinkle was again calling it out. Helen. She raised her voice until it could be heard to the other room. So like she's screeching and literally Helen. And Lavina wanted no, not Helen of Troy. Remember? No Helen.
Oh.
No, not Helen. Lavina, dear, do you know anyone by the name of Helen? By the name of? I can't hear you. And my wife made her way over to us between the book's chairs. And here she's trying to stop. And here she's crying out aloud, Helen. Because she said, Helen of Troy. No, not Helen of Troy. Maybe somebody else. You were there when I was talking about that.
No, we didn't.
Okay, sorry. So, yeah. Yeah, he was there. You were talking about different people you could invite. No, he was there just now. We lost. You know the funniest thing that has happened? She whispered excitedly. Someone had tried to communicate with John through Miss Hunt and Mrs. Sprinkle's Ouija. Someone by the name of Helen. So she said, like all the Ouija boards was trying to contact your husband. Okay?
Why?
Why? Isn't that curious? What is? This is simmer. Simmer is basically coy manner. Smile in a very coy manner.
Yes.
Someone giving the name of Helen has been just calling your husband here. So there's this girl named Helen who's calling your husband here. But we don't know anyone by the name of Helen. Lavinia stopped and began to look at me through narrowed list, much as she had done in the library in the evening reports. Like, she's suspicious. Who's Helen? And what is going on? And then from the different parts of the room, other manipulators began to report. Every plague one of those 5 Ouija boards were calling me by my name. So all the 5 Ouija boards in the room was yes. I felt my ear grow crimson, purple, maroon, like all different colors. My wife was looking at me as though I was some peculiar insect. She was giving that stare like who's this Helen who's trying to contact you? The squeak of Ouija board and the murmur of the conversation rose louder and louder, and then I felt my face twitch in a spasm of idiotic grin.
Very nervous.
Yes, very nervous. I tried to straighten my wretched features into the usual semblance of humanity. I tried. Doesn't he look sly? And she's adding fuel to the
Fire.
yes. And doesn't he look sly, your husband? And I got up and fled from the room. So he ran away from the room. And we continue this in the next class. But next class they will be there because they will not have their classes. So I'll tell them to others.
To others.
Okay?
Yes.
We'll have, because then I can complete this also with your class. This and